shares real quick here. Good morning, Jolie. Good morning, Nick Witch 56. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Trucker John OTR. Tuesday, Thursday, live streaming on YouTube, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Won't you join me, please? Alrighty. Alrighty, here I am. Here I am, brought to you like a hurricane. That's right. Somewhere. We don't need to do that one. What? It's got to keep on going. It's like an energizing. It's an energizing bunny rabbit doll. So, here I am in beautiful downtown. Well, I'm not downtown. But I'm in beautiful, as you can see the beautiful pavement. I'm in Portland, Oregon, and there's some trees and some clouds, and it's been raining pretty much the whole time that I've been here, as it is wont to do in the Portland, Oregon area. It has been known to be a bit rainy here and there. I'm just doctoring up my coffee real quick. So I've just been over here. I don't know if everyone knows what was going on with me with God, it's been about a week ago, right? I delivered a load over a week ago. I delivered a load in Grandview, Washington, which is like a little less than 200 miles from here, from where I'm at right now. Delivered that load. That was on a Saturday night, I think, if memory serves. And I ended up sitting over there. Remember, I got a hotel for a few nights. Because there were no loads. There were no loads, and I was just sitting there, and it's been frustrating as hell. You know, because you got to keep rolling. You stopping, unless you're on a vacation or something. Stopping is death in truck driving. You make no money, honey. So finally, I got a load. But it was in Vancouver, Washington, which is like 200 miles away. But that was the best I could do, and it was a good load, and it was going to take me home, and that was the thing. I wanted to get home, right? So now I get that load. It's a 6 in the morning appointment. Good morning, Kenneth Otto. Glad to see you. I'm just rehashing the woes of Trucker John. Of what happened this past week. About how I got to the shipper at 6 o'clock in the morning. That was the appointment time on Friday. And then they're looking at me like I'm from the moon or something. They're like, what the fuck are you doing here? There's no load. We have no load for you. There are 6 o'clock guys in the dock right now, and this number that you gave us, it's not even ready or whatever, you know. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I call my people. My people call around and call their people, and they're like, yeah, just have them come back on Sunday at 2 o'clock, and we'll do the load then. I'm like, okay, and my people, they tell me, okay, we'll pay you for some delay. They call it delay pay or whatever. And just come back on Sunday at 2 o'clock. So okay, I'm in. So then I go back to Portland because that's in Vancouver. It's like 10 miles away. I think 10, 12 miles from there. And I decide, and this is Friday, and so I decide, okay, I'm going to pick that up on Sunday, and there's really, I don't feel like sitting in this lot, so I'll get a hotel. So I went ahead, got the hotel over there in Portland, Best Western. It's very nice, nice hotel. I stay there a couple nights, do my thing. That's when I was walking and doing the walking and all that stuff. I get up Sunday, come to get the truck. Of course, the truck is dead. I had to get a jump, but that was a quick thing. Didn't really, and it was at the OC. That's a Schneider facility. Their garage. They do it for free. I didn't have to pay or anything. And it was, so it was no big deal. So I get the truck going. I go over there, and the place is closed up. It's locked up. I mean, it was open where I could take the truck in to their little truck area. But the guardhouse was locked up and no one was there. The shipping receiving office was all locked up. They had a gate with a big padlock. It's all closed. So I get on the phone. I'm like, hey, they told me to come back. I explain the situation because every time you call, you get a different person. It's a weekend crew now. It's a whole different crew that you talk to. So yeah, and they had but they do have notes. Because let me look it up. And she did see that the last person did have a bunch of notes, and so she kind of, I told her, and she read the notes, and she got familiar with the situation. And then she calls their customer service, or has someone call their customer service, or whatever. And then she comes back, and she says, yeah, they're not even open on Sundays. I don't know why they told you to come back on Sunday, but they told us they're never even open on Sundays. So I'm like, well, I was told to come back on here, and then everything. So that was a whole fucking waste of 2 more days, right? So they take me off the load, because that load, it ends up is not even ready, and it's not going to. She said it won't even be ready till like this coming Friday. So it's the whole thing is just fucked up. It's us, and just to be blunt about it, to be frank, it's fucked up, man. And it sucks because, like I said, I'm out here trying to earn a living, and I'm sitting here and I'm paying for hotels and I'm paying for all this other shit. And I'm not making any money. I mean, I might as well just fucking park the truck and take a plane home and just call it a day and just say fuck it. I'm gonna be Uber driver John instead of trucker John. Like I said, I've talked to Uber drivers and Lyft drivers in Vegas. They're saying they're making $500 a day. Maybe I'll go home and fucking do that, man. So anyhow, instead of going back to the OC, I came down here to the Jubitz truck stop, and it is actually, like tongue-in-cheek, I might say this is the world famous Jubitz truck stop, but it is in the trucking community. This is one of the more famous truck stops. In fact, I just shot a video. I went and had breakfast, and I shot some video of it. I'm going to cut it together, put it together, and I'll post a video later on today. And so you should come back to the channel and check it out because it is a pretty nice little truck stop, and it does have some history here. I've been around since the 40s, I think. And they have a nightclub in there where they've had some really big country western acts play there over the years and stuff. I think they've made a movie here, a couple of trucking movies or whatever. So that's where I've been for the last a couple nights now, I guess. And the frustration continues. The frustration continues because now I'm going on. I keep pointing over here because this is where my phone is. And in fact, I should bring you guys up on here so I can see the chat. I really can't see the chat on my iPad. But
new pre-assignment received. Starting at Portland.
Oh, don't listen to her. She's ruining my. She's spoiling it. She's a spoiler. I better turn her volume down too. So anyhow, I go to the load board, and you know, there's nothing. It's this continued thing has been going on for 2 months now. And I don't get it. I don't get it, man. This has always been a good area to get freight, and now it's the worst area to get freight. I don't know. And there's no freight. I mean, there's stuff on the board, but it's not ready. You can't get it. You can't, book it. And they still have all those loads from that place going to Henderson, which is Vegas, basically. And they still have them up there. They got 4 or 5 of them, but they're just sitting there and they're not ready. No green check marks. And that's frustrating because I really wanted to go home. Anyhow, so I keep checking like every. You kind of want to just never go off the load board when you're desperate for a load because you're afraid that when something does pop up, somebody else is going to snatch it, But you can't just sit there and look at it. It's like watching grass grow or something, it'll never grow. So I finally, so it's just, I check it like every couple hours. I go and check the load board, and still there's like nothing though. Like when you put up the radius, it's like a 300-mile radius. There's usually hundreds and hundreds of loads to choose from, and now it comes up like 27 loads, and most of those they're not even ready. They don't have the ready mark, the check mark, right? And the ones that are like a really far deadhead, and they're only for a few miles. They're not even worth. It wouldn't even pay enough to cover my gas, my fuel, right? So it's just been really, really, really frustrating. So I went to breakfast, ran over here to start the show, and when I start the truck up, the tablet fires up, and that's what's. It has, messages and stuff, and there's an incoming message, and it says, because when on the load board you can favorite, that's how you save things that you like. One of the loads that I favorited was, and it's been on there for days and days now, but it picks up out of Portland. It goes to, I guess, Aurora, Colorado, and it pays pretty good. It pays like it's over $3,000 or whatever, and it shows up that it just shows you that it's ready. So I just grabbed the phone. I gotta log in. I'm like, you gotta punch in your password and your name, and all that shit. That takes time. You're like, because man, those loads, they go quick, especially if there's any more drivers and we're all looking for loads. Those loads go quick. So many times, you get the notification that there's a load that you were favorited is ready, and then you get on there and it's gone, right? So, hey Stephanie, all right, Stephanie's in the house. Thank you for being here. Okay, yeah, hope go check on your aunt. Hope she's doing good. But thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Always good to see you in here. But so anyhow, as I get in, so I was able to get it in. It was still there, and I just booked it, man, and I got it. So that's why I named today's show Praise the Lord, Hallelujah. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get a praise the Lord? I got a load. Now hopefully it won't, I've been having bad luck lately where you get the load and then they pull you off of it for whatever reason. Or or like that one where I go and it's not even there. It's almost like it didn't exist. But so I got a load. It's not really where I wanted to go. Like I said, I wanted to go to Vegas, but I'm desperate. I got to go where the loads take me. So now I got to go to Colorado, which is Aurora is basically Denver, right? And so I got a load. So I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth, but so. And that picks up tomorrow. Tomorrow it's like an all-day window, so that means I can sleep in. To tell you the truth, I hate like that one I had at 0600 on Friday. I fucking hate that. Because I had to get up at like 5 in the morning, and that's just not me. I need my beauty sleep, right? But anyhow, but I did it. I did it. So just double checking here. This load picks up in Portland, Oregon. Don't know why that just disappeared like that. But it has an all-day Winder. Portland Fulfillment Center. Oh, I know where that is. I just picked up a load there a couple weeks ago. But that load went down to, I think, Phoenix. This one's going to Aurora, going to Nabisco. I think it's cookies because I think that last one was cookies. So it looks like I'll be having some type of cookies or things like that, things of that nature. Can I get an amen, Jolie? So yeah, tomorrow. You know what? I'm such a bonehead. It picks up today. So I'll be picking it up today because it has an all-day window of from 0900, which was 23 minutes ago, to 2100, which is 11, or 9 o'clock at night. So after this, as soon as we're done with the show, I'm gonna go on over to the Portland Fulfillment Center. It's just a few miles from here. See, I'm trying to get my bearings straight here. From here, it's just, yeah, you just get on the 5. In fact, I didn't get on the 5. I just got on the street. I'm gonna cross the 5. Yeah, I'm probably less than 5 miles from here. So I'll pick that up and start making my way to Colorado. And it has to be there by no later than the 4th at 0400. So I guess that's Friday. So we're good. We're good on time. Everything fits. We got the window. Got a good window there. So Aaron West, hey, Aaron West in the house. Thanks for being here, Aaron. So we're just talking about the woes. Well, look at this guy, man. Kind of cutting it kind of close there. Gee, guy. Look, I've been hit, just parked in a parking lot. I've had this truck. This truck has been hit at least a half a dozen times by other truckers. And it's all because they're idiots. I'm parked in a parking spot. Legal, supposedly safe, legal parking spot. And assholes still manage to somehow hit you. Dude, you're in a fucking truck. Take it wide. Jiminy Christmas. I've had to replace the bumper 3 times on this truck because the asshole's hitting my bumper and knocking it off, And right now my bumper is half torn up, and I just don't feel like. And then, I've filed claims, or what I do is I get their information and I kind of report them to their company, and kind of put them through that. But then at the end of the day, I end up just paying it for myself because it ends up being like a $700 thing or whatever, And I just feel like the insurance company, they act like they're going to raise your rates or something, if you do. So I usually don't end up actually filing. I'll kind of report it, but then the final thing is I don't really report it. I just let it go and I just pay for it myself because I guess unless the thing gets really fucked up or totaled or whatever, that's the insurance. Of course, I'll use it for that. Or if it's like some huge, you know, thousands of dollars or something. But if it's, you know, it's not that $700 is like pocket change, because it's not. But I mean, I'd rather just pay for it myself, and you know, not worry about the insurance company being dicks or whatever, and say they're going to raise my rates, you know. But it's happened over the about 7 years I've had this truck now. I've been hit. Like I said, I've gone through 3 bumpers from people hitting me. Hey, Conspiracy Music. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Trucker John Club. You're all truckers now. When you're in the Trucker John Club, you're a trucker. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I know you guys are subscribed, but you know, this is the thing you say, right? That's what the thing says. And hit the share button. That's a big one. I've been trying to share people when I go onto their channels, and I've been hitting the share button lately. And you can share it to. Now you can share it to the community page on YouTube. You can share it, of course, to other pages. You can share it to Twitter. You can share it to Facebook. It's really easy to do, and that's a good way to get, I think, to promote channels. So hitting the share button is a biggie. I'm gonna have to make a new graphic. Hit the share button. But we are up to 300, and I think I saw it was like 390 on subs. We're growing. We're getting like 1 or 2 a day. That's pretty cool. Like I said, by the time maybe by the time I'm like 90, maybe I'll have 1,000 subscribers. So I got that to look forward to. Now this guy, look, he took it nice and wide. I know it kind of looks close on the camera, but that was perfect. That was perfect. That guy took it nice and wide. He's got plenty of room on that side. He's got plenty of room on this side. That's a good driver. Now, the other one that I cut to before, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't want to be too judgmental, but I just don't know what he was thinking. It was stupid. And granted, I might be a little paranoid because I've been hit 3 times. I mean, I've had to replace 3 bumpers. I've been hit more than 3 times. And the other hits were just like tiny little scratches. I mean, tiny little scratches, minute things. Well, actually, and then on the side, I got, oh man, this truck, you know how you get a new car and it seems like every new car I've ever bought, it's almost inevitable. You get a brand new shiny car from the dealer, from the lot, right? And you're just waiting for that first thing that's gonna you know there's gonna be some fucking thing where something scratches your car or puts a little dent in it. For me, it always happens within the first 3 weeks. It's inevitable. And the same happened with this truck. I got this truck brand new in 2015. And I was out on the road. I didn't have it 2 weeks. I was parked in a safe and legal parking spot at a Pilot in Dunnigan, California. I'm sleeping. It's like 3 in the morning. And all of a sudden I hear, and the whole truck shakes, and I'm like, what the fuck? I get out of bed, I open the curtain, and all I see is this fucking trailer, big ass trailer, back, and I guess he had pulled up by the time, you know, in the interim, he kind of pulled in and was gonna come back at it again, and then I hit this big horn up here. I'm like, that's all, like, you know, and apparently he heard me because he all of a sudden he hits the brakes, he stops. And I jump out. I'm able to, you know, I jump out, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, you know, and then he gets out, and he's like, oh, and you can see like on the side. And I never did fix that either. But there's these scrape marks. It was like where his trailer had scraped my truck, and I think there was the little wing thing got kind of fucked up. And I saw, you know, I'm like, dude, the fuck? And he's like, yeah, I just started driving like 2 weeks ago. I just got my license and all this shit. I'm like, did they teach you how to park? What, you know? He's like, yeah. And it was like 3 in the fucking morning, you know? So I'm like, okay, here, I'll help back you in, and then I'll have to get your information and shit. He's like, okay. So, he pulls up, and I help guide him in and get him in there. And then I get his driver's license number and his company numbers and everything else. And I'm like, dude, I got to call this in because I got to do it. And he's like, I understand. And then I called my insurance company and I gave them all this stuff. And then, so I was gonna file a claim on that, and I actually did. It just takes me forever. Like I'm busy. I'm a busy man. And at the time, this is when I was just starting, and I was making payments, and I didn't want to stop. But finally, I think it was like a month later, I finally stopped to get an estimate, and they gave me this estimate, and it was like to do the body work and to repaint. It was like $4,000 or something. I don't know. And I forget what my deductible is. I think it might be like, I think I have a deductible like $1,000 or whatever. But so that, I mean, the insurance would have paid for it, would have covered it. But then it was like, yeah, and so I'm like, so when can you do that? And they're like, oh, we got a big waiting period. You're gonna come back, and like it's gonna be like a couple weeks or whatever. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But so I just left, and I never came back. I'm like, I don't have fucking time. I'm like all over the country. This was in Bakersfield. I don't have time to like try to route back to Bakersfield, and so I ended up just not doing it. I just let it go, and so ever since I got that truck, I've got these 3 scratch marks across there, and the little wing window. You can't really tell it's too bad, but it kind of broke off one of the hinges, so it's kind of fucked up. But it doesn't look that bad. I know, maybe it sounds worse than what it actually is, but that was when the truck, I just had it for like 2 weeks. And that happened. And that was sort of a precursor of things to come, I guess. Because then, and it's always guys, almost always guys that are trying to back in. And I've had a couple guys just like scrape this front fender, just tiny little thing, and you feel it when you're in the truck. Even if it's just the tiniest little thing, you'll feel it, man. And the truck will rock and shake. So I get out, and I'm always having to like, hey, whoa, 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 and then we see a little tiny scratch. It's about this big, and I'm like, all right, don't worry about it, man, but just fucking drive careful next time, or be more careful next time, for stuff like that. But then I had one where I was parked on the outside edge, like it was a big row of parking, and I was on the very last spot. But then there's like literally about a 200-foot wide parking lot driveway that's in the front and to the side. I mean, you could drive probably 6 or 7 big rigs side by side. You know what I mean? That's how much width of room there was. So this asshole, he's one of those assholes that drives a pickup truck that has like a 5th wheel, and it has like a little car hauler on it. And he was hauling cars. It was big enough to hold like 3 cars or whatever. So I don't know. He said that he was gonna park next to me. Whatever it was, he cut it way too sharp. The back end of his trailer, about the middle part of his trailer, clips the front left corner of my truck. Takes out the bumper, takes out the tire, popped the tire. I guess the rim and everything was okay, but it like totally fucked it up. And so, I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? Come on. And he's like, I thought for sure he goes, I've been driving, and I've heard this so many times, like, I've been driving for X amount of years and I've never done this kind of thing before. This has never happened before. And I'm always thinking to myself, like, yeah, bullshit. You're a fucking shitty driver, you know. But he's like, I've never done this before. I thought for sure I had it, you know. And like, fuck, god damn it, you know. Now I gotta, whether or not the insurance pays for it or not, I still gotta make the calls. I gotta get road service out now to fix my fucking tire because I can't even take the truck to the shop because I gotta get a new tire. I have them come out and put on a tire, you know. And then I gotta find a fucking bumper, a new bumper for it. It's just a fucking pain in the ass. I know, I just can't have nice things. So now, you know, this truck is 7 years old and it's battle worn. Let's see how this guy does. Let's see how Heartland does. He's all right, you know. He's out there. That's you know, good 12 feet of clearance there. But so anyhow, the woes of a truck driver, and really, I'm glad that that's, you know, the extent of it. I mean, you see these guys out on the road, you see some pretty horrific accidents, and you don't know if, I mean, you can't, I can't judge whose fault it was. I didn't see the accident, right? But I just saw the aftermath. You don't know if it was driver error or of the truck, or if it was somebody else's fault or whatever. It's just you know, some scary shit that goes on out there. So I'm just thankful that you know, it hasn't been anything worse than some bumpers and some scratches, you know. So I've been fortunate in that way. Ken Leno says, I have to work on that molecular bonded shell, aka Knight Rider. Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool. Jolie, my kids were good at making sure we couldn't have nice things when they were little. Heathens. Yes, children are heathens. I agree with that. The little heathens. So anyhow, that's what's going on. I'm gonna go after the show, go pick up that load. It's just down the road, literally. In fact, I could go ahead and see the mileage on it. It's just right down the road. I might as well activate it. But so yeah, for the delay pay on that last load, at least they're paying me $300 for my trouble. I don't know if that's the greatest thing in the world, but it's better than nothing. I mean, I did drive 200 miles, but I was deadheading, so the fuel isn't as much as, like, if I was under a load 200 miles, that's might be a lot of fuel. But since I was deadheading, you know, like under a load, you're averaging like 7 miles per gallon, and when you're deadheading, it's probably at least double that, depending. And if you're on straight services, it might be triple that. You might get 20 or 28 miles a gallon, which is like what a car would get. And then up and down the hills, then it goes down to, you know, 10, 15, whatever. But I was just gonna write this down. I write all my loads on this book. I do everything kind of like old school because I've had too many times where, you know, computers go out, tablets go out, internet goes out. So I write everything down, man. Keep my own little record, and then I don't have to worry about if something got erased or whatever, you And I take a picture of everything. I screenshot everything. All these loads, I screenshot them, and then after a while, I just go in and I erase them after they're done, you know. But I usually keep them on there a while in case there's any controversies, like if it says what the pickup time was and delivery time was, and then they come back at me, which I mean, this really doesn't happen. So I know if I say this, it might sound like this happens, but I mean I can't even remember when it may have happened, but maybe back in the earlier days when they didn't have things down so good, but they're pretty good now. But just in case there's a discrepancy of the pickup time or the delivery time, then at least I have a photographic record of, look, this is what you guys posted on the load board. This is what I bid on. Or not bid, but this is what I booked. And so that's what I was going by. And then, so if you wanted to, you know, change something, then you needed to tell me. So it's just, you know, a little backup that I do. I do screenshots, I write shit down. And that's why I am Trucker John. Trucker John. So that picks up today. I don't know why I was thinking it was tomorrow, but it is today. We have an 0900 to a 2100 window. And the delivery is on the 4th, and which is Friday. And it is a live unload. Ooh. So it is, I'm not gonna like this. Yeah, it is a live unload at 0400 in the freaking morning. I'm gonna hate that, but it pays $3,300. So, you know, sometimes you gotta bite the bullet, you know? It pays $3,300, and it's better than me sitting here in Portland not making nothing. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Jelly bean? So, you gotta cross this one out. See, I make a little note. This load was not ready. I can make a little note. About the pay and all that. Make sure that that does get added. And again, they're good at that. But I still make a note just in case, because you know you got to do it. You gotta protect yourself and make sure that. And it's not, if there is a mistake, it's a mistake. It would be, you know, I've been with this company as a company driver and as a independent contractor for 12 years now. So I wouldn't do that if they were like if I thought they were shady or something, you know. I think they're a pretty good company. The last 2 months I've been having some issues because of the load situation. And I've been thinking about looking for something else. But other than that, I mean, it's been, you know, pretty good. And they've always been pretty good organizationally. And, wow, this guy really cutting it close. He did like a weird turnaround. But anyhow, I guess every company has their ups and downs, right? But so I guess I could do this later. I just gonna fill this out, but anyhow, I'll do that later. You guys don't need to see me writing shit. Would you'd rather, have me telling fun stories, maybe. I don't know. So anyhow, what's been going on with everybody in the world? We got what's been going on? Elections are coming soon. It looks like I might not vote this year. See, that's the thing. I was trying to get home because my ballot is sitting in my mailbox, more than likely, right? I haven't been home since September 13th, and when I was home, but I hadn't got my ballot yet. So I don't have my ballot, and I'm going to be in Aurora on Friday, which technically I should probably get on the load board right now, because I mean, if I could get a load out of there like right then to get back, I mean, I could make it. I don't know. I was thinking about getting an airplane. I might do that. You know what? Even though as much as I hate Frontier Airlines because they're so uncomfortable, I don't know if you've ever flown Frontier or not, but I wouldn't recommend any flights more than, I mean, even 20 minutes is long enough, but I mean, it's like you're sitting on a concrete stadium bench, or something, or they're the most uncomfortable goddamn airplanes ever, but they usually have really cheap flights. I could probably get a cheap flight from Denver to Vegas, and that might be what I'll do. I can just fly home to Vegas from Denver, and get in my car, go to my mailbox, and get my ballot, and and drop it off. I think that might be what that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing, because unless I can get a load, unless we have another hallelujah praise the Lord moment where I can just get a load straight out of there, and then it's not just getting a load, but then to get one that pinpoints right to Vegas. I mean, that would be like a miracle. But more than likely, the more than likely scenario is that I would get a load to the Salt Lake area, and then, because that's usually what happens when I go to Colorado to Denver, I usually get a load back to Salt Lake, and then from there, that's what I did for my son's wedding. I had to hop on a plane from Salt Lake to Vegas. Maybe I'll do that. Just so I could vote. That's how important voting is, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to check real quick. I'm going to check the load board and see what's out there right now. From the Denver area. Okay, so here we are here, Aurora, Colorado. I'm gonna put in a 300-mile radius, and here's the dates. I'll even backdate it from October 18th to November 11th. Let's see what comes up. And there's only 20 loads. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. 20 loads in a 300-mile radius? There's usually 200 loads or more. Oh my God, this is horrible. So, and these loads are all not even on the 4th. These are all before the 4th, so I can't bid on those. It's got to be at least the 4th. And there's Aurora to Spokane, Washington, but it's not ready. But that would be a good load, and I would take it. And if I took it, that means I'm not voting this year. And that sucks because I like to vote. Hey, Liberal Dan's in the house. Thanks for coming by. Just doing some trucking stuff here. But what would you expect from a channel called Trucker John, right? You're gonna do some trucker stuff. You're gonna do a little trucker stuff. Right now, I'm looking to see if I can get a load out of Aurora, Colorado, and it's not looking too good, folks. Not looking too good. Now, here is, see, Aurora to Paris. Oh, Green River, don't want that. Aurora to Casa Grande. And that is, wow, what happened? I thought I saw a load. Did somebody snatch it? Here's Denver to West Valley City, but it would be too late. Because it doesn't pick up until the 8th. So I think I'm kind of screwed as of right now. And for a second there, I saw something popped in. Well, here it is here. See, it's on the 2nd. Yeah. It's going to West Valley City, which is basically Salt Lake City. But it picks up on the 2nd, and I'm not going to even be there until the 4th. So I can't get that. But all I can do is just keep checking the load board, you know, between now and then, see if something pops up. But as of right now, see, this will be a good one, but it needs to be a day later. It's the 2nd through the 3rd in Denver. It goes to West Valley City. See, that would be perfect if it was just like a day later. Damn. Now the only other hope I could have is if they could take this delivery a day earlier, because I think I'll be there on the 3rd. If there's some way they could take that on the 3rd, then I could pick that load up. That Denver to West Valley, that's Frito-Lay, that's potato chip load. That would be perfect. Then I could get to West Valley City. But see, no. I mean, they would have to change all the load times, so they're not going to do that unless that load for some reason isn't ready. But you know. Okay, so that's where I'm at now. I might not be voting this year, man. And was it Masto Cortez? She needs me. She needs my vote. Because she's running against some nutbag, and it's really, really close. I hope my vote doesn't come down to being the difference of her winning or losing, or of her losing. Oh, man. But what are you going to do, you know? I mean, there's only so much I can do. There's only so much I can do, you know? Like I said, oh yeah, okay, yeah, figure it out. Like I said, if need be, I'll just get on a fucking plane because I can probably get a ticket. I haven't checked the prices lately. I know during the pandemic the prices were. I flew back and forth a few times and it was really cheap. It was like, I mean, they had like $14 flights, literally, and lots of flights like 30-40 bucks. I think it's all gone up now. But Denver to Vegas, I don't even know. 80 bucks? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. I could do that right now. I mean, if you guys don't mind. What I always do, I just go to Google Flights and they are supposed to have the best they come up with the best prices and stuff. I can just check that. So I put in, here I am, Google Flights. They've got a $99 round trip. This is Spirit Airlines. I don't believe I've flown Spirit. I did put my son on a Spirit flight and he said like, thanks Dad, sarcastically. So I'm not sure if Spirit is a step down or a step up from Frontier, but they're both shitty. But it's only 99 bucks for a round trip. Oh, wait a minute. They popped in some weird ass date. Let's go. Let's say I go on the 5th. And let's say I come back on, well, I don't even have to be there on the 8th. I just have to drop it off. Let's say I just come back on the 7th. So it's like the 8th. So maybe I should just make it the 8th just in case. So what do they got? Oh, it went up to 101 bucks. What did I say? I said 99. So oh, Spirit and Frontier merged, so they're just equally shitty now probably. And I mean, look, I get it. They're cheap, right? But could they at least put a little bit of padding in their seats? That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for, I don't know, free booze, or I'm not asking for extra leg room. I'm just asking for a little bit of padding in the fucking seats, man. I swear to God, it's like you're sitting on a fucking rock. So they've got Denver round trip nonstop. I hate some of these flights too. They like to go to like Denver to Vegas, and then they'll fucking they have these ones, they route you to Dallas or they route you to fucking Seattle. And what the fuck? Fuck that shit. So anyhow, this is a nonstop straight to Vegas, 101 bucks. That's probably what I'll end up doing. Yeah, 101. That's on Spirit. Frontier, I guess Frontier must think that they're la-di-da compared to Spirit, because it's 110 for Frontier. It's $9 more for Frontier. And believe me, I bet you don't experience $9 more of comfort. So I'll probably just go with Spirit. So that's it. They had those, and then they got a whole bunch more. They've got so many departing flights, all nonstop, all through the day. 110. This is Frontier. Then there's 144. I don't know. I guess it's just more demand or something, maybe, because the planes are still the same shitty planes. And then you can get all highfalutin, go to United, and it bumps up to 345. It's like another couple hundred and something bucks to go to fly United. Now, granted, United is a nicer plane, the seats are more comfortable. But other than that, you don't really get, unless you're getting first class or something, that you're still cramped in with a bunch of assholes. There's Southwest. Southwest, they never put their prices. It says check price, and then you got to go through. You got to click on it and go through the rigmarole of all the Southwest bullshit, and then it turns out to be that the prices really aren't that great. I always thought Southwest was supposed to be, have great prices and great deals, but I mean they might be cheaper than United, but I don't know. But they don't show their prices. And then there's 38 more flights, it says. And they're all in the 300s and 50s. That's they're all United. There's Delta 364. So that's the difference between a Frontier or a Spirit. It's anywhere from $200 to $250 difference. And some of these have overnight layovers at $400 for an overnight layover in fucking LAX. What a bunch of bullshit. I guess you would take that if that was your only option. If you had a specific time that you could only fly, I guess you would do that. But anyhow, here's a $600 one. Jesus Christ. That's United Alaska. And I don't see any holdovers. What the fuck? Do they give like free foot massages or something, or what? I mean, what the fuck? Or it wouldn't be free, would it? Anyhow, so then it just keeps going up and up and up. $737 for American Alaska, operated by SkyWest Airlines as American Eagle. Jesus Christ, how many fucking subdivisions of this company do they have? Round trip, $737. Yeah, I better get like a foot massage and a shoulder massage and a neck massage and a temple massage and some fucking champagne or something, or beer, because I don't really like champagne. I mean, they ought to be like lavishing me with some shit for $737. I mean, fuck you, it's a half-hour flight, man. Or it's a little more than that, 45 minutes or whatever. So yeah, scroll back down. So it'll be more than likely Spirit for $101. It says it's an hour and 57 minutes. I think the actual air time on that is even less. It's not that. It's like 45 minutes, I think, in the air. So anyhow, thank you, Jolie, for that little message there. So that's what I'll do, Jolie. That, like you say, make it work, make it happen. Do the thing. If I don't have a load, and it looks like I will probably be taking an airplane. Either out of Denver. I mean, the odds of me getting a load from the Denver area right to Las Vegas and getting there by the 8th in time enough for me to get my ballot and stuff it into a box is like I'd have greater odds of winning the lottery, right? Which I think it's over $1 billion now. I don't think anybody won that. But anyhow, so odds are it's either going to be Denver to Salt Lake. That's probably what would happen. And if I go anywhere else, it'll make it so I won't have time to fly. I mean, that's my really. That's what, so I'm either going to be flying out of Denver or I'm going to be flying out of Salt Lake probably. I'm just thinking maybe Phoenix. There might be a load that goes to Phoenix, but then and I'd get on a plane, and that's even a shorter distance. That's the shortest distance probably, and that would be I would imagine even a cheaper flight. So I guess that's what I'm going to probably be airborne sometime over the weekend, so I can vote, because it's important to vote, to me anyhow, and I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm gonna do, by golly. And I'm just glad I got a load out of here. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. I got a load and I'm going, and Gunshare Harmony 22, welcome to the show. Gunshare Harmony 22, were you one of the ones that were on last week with the high school class? Or something? That name sounds familiar. just wondering if you came back to check us out again. So welcome back. If this is not your first time here, and if it is your first time here, welcome. But let me just do a little recap where we're at. Beautiful parking lot. You can see the wet pavement. It has been just raining. This is the first let up in the rain in the last couple days. There's supposed to be some more rain coming in. I haven't really checked the weather report. I know there was snow across, like in the Rockies and stuff. Hopefully, I won't hit too much snow going through the mountains. Let's see from here. I'll be going across I-80 through Wyoming, and yeah, it might be kind of snowy and icy. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Gunshy says, I was here last week. How's the trip been? Okay, so last week when you were here, I was in Grandview, Washington. And I've only made it to Portland, only 200 miles away. It's been a whole ordeal as far as trying to get a load, and then I went over here to Vancouver, Washington. Load wasn't ready. It ended up being canceled for me because it's not going to be ready to them. But just today, I got another load from Portland going back to Denver. So as soon as the show's over, I'll wrap this up, and I'm gonna go pick that load up and start making my way across to the Denver, Colorado area, Aurora, Colorado, which is right out the suburb or whatever of Denver. So there's been a lot of sort of hurry up and wait, a lot of sitting around, a lot of you know, just wondering what I'm gonna do, wondering you know, am I ever gonna get a load again? Am I gonna just be sitting in my truck forever in a parking lot? Contemplating my future. Should I become Uber driver John or Lyft driver John? Should I quit this damn business? That might still be an option if things don't pick up, because it's been really probably the worst. Like I've said, this has probably been the worst thing. Yeah, hey, yeah, that's gonna get comments like that will get dumped. I have a moderator now, and she don't play. She don't play. You do that, and it's gonna get removed, and you're gonna get removed. So we'll have none of that here. I'm the only one that gets to talk like that, and even I don't talk like that. But you know. So I guess class is in session at the supposed high school that these guys are from. I guess Tintin. I think they're East Coasters, I believe. My guess is they're from Tennessee, but I'm just guessing. So, yeah, if you mind your P's and Q's, then you're welcome here. But we don't want to hear about itching certain body parts. I mean, even I don't go that low, I don't think, right? I mean, I talked about a foot massage. You know, that's not bad, right? I was like, but anyhow. So thank you, Jolie, for doing that. So that's the deal. I'm gonna go. Probably should think about wrapping her up here pretty quick so I can go get that load and get on the road. I gotta get fueled up. I'm out of fuel. Pretty much out of fuel. Oh, that's another thing. Oh, dang it. I wonder if... I really didn't want to get fuel until tomorrow. Because of the way the pay periods are, the way they do their accounting. If I get fuel today, it'll go on this pay period, even though I didn't have any loads, and I don't want to. have that deduction when there's no really incoming pay. The only incoming pay was that $300 probably. I'm just trying to think what I could do as far as if I've got enough fuel to pick that load up, and then just, let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday. I gotta bite the bullet. I don't think I could even delay it to tomorrow. I think I've got to get it going today, or I won't be there on time. Because then you got Wednesday and Thursday, and it's over 1,280 miles, 1,270 something miles. Yeah, I've got to rack some miles up today. So. Okay, well, that's the way it goes, I guess. I guess I'm gonna have to get fuel today, but I'll probably just get just enough fuel. See, that's the things you got to think about. I might only get, I don't know, 50 gallons of fuel. Maybe less. Just to get me through today, and then tomorrow I'll top off the tanks tomorrow on Wednesday. So yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'll do. I'll just get like, I don't know, 30 gallons maybe. Or maybe 40. I don't know. Yeah. That's just trucker stuff, you know. Alrighty, so. Oh, yeah, that's right. I told Jolie I was going to tell a story about a movie I worked on. I used to do movie work. I used to do just background. I was just a background extra. I never did any, acting or anything like that. But I in the early 2000s I was doing some background work, and it started with Planet of the Apes. And I actually way before that, I had done some stuff like Best of the Best 2. I was in that, but just as a background when I was younger, more fit, and all that kind of stuff. Then in 2001, I got cast as a gorilla in Planet of the Apes, and I did post a video of that. So if you guys go on the channel and just hunt around, you can find that. It's kind of cool. I got some photos of me in my ape costume, gorilla costume. But anyhow, and then that led to, after that, I for a couple of years I did some other, did some more stuff, a lot of TV shows and movies and stuff. And there was this one show. It was a made-for-TV movie called The Big Time, and it was for Turner Movie Classics, I think, or whatever. And okay, so it's been fun, but I'm gonna go. All right, Gunshy, thanks for being here. I know I'm telling boring old war stories, so yeah, good time to leave. But thanks for being here, and thanks for not being obnoxious. Like I say, you mind your P's and Q's, you're always welcome here. And that's not to say you can't say like some cuss word or something, but I don't want to hear about itching certain body parts. But anyhow, thanks for being here. So anyhow, I was doing this movie called The Big Time, and I knew that it starred Molly Ringwald. And it had Christopher Lloyd in it. He was the guy, the professor from Back in the Future. And so I'm thinking of Molly Ringwald like from, Pretty in Pink and all that kind of stuff, right? The redhead. And so, and then this movie was set in, I think, the 40s or 30s, maybe the 30s. So it's a period piece. And so we get dressed up in these old clothes, and they cut your hair all short and everything to look like you're some dude from the 30s. And I did a lot of scenes where it took place inside this office, and where they were like they were just starting out. I guess it was a TV station. So it was supposed to be one of the very first like TV stations. Maybe it was the 40s. I don't know. And it was supposed to be where like Molly Ringwald was had become the owner, and Christopher Lloyd was the owner. I guess she married Christopher Lloyd, and he was older, whatever. So then I was just doing these scenes when you don't really know the exact script when you're doing the thing. They just tell you they dress you up and they tell you where to stand and to do a passing, to do a walk, or do something. When they when they say action, you do your action. So anyhow, there was this one scene where there was like an elevator door, and it would open up, and this actress with red hair, pretty young actress, she would come out, and then this other actor from the other side was coming out of a hallway, and they would kind of meet, and they had their dialogue, and in the background of them was like this busy office, and people were going around doing their thing, and then I was kind of like on the other side of them, just like I think I was just walking, because sometimes I would have a cart or something, like I was pushing a cart. But for this scene, I think I just sort of would walk kind of behind them or something. And so we're doing this scene, like, and they over and over again, and they're trying to work out the camera angles and the camera work, and they're doing like a steady cam, sort of a handheld steady cam shot. And they kept trying to work that out. So they did quite a few takes, and there was this one time where everyone just sort of holds their positions, but they're not shooting. They're still working out the camera movement. And so sometimes, and they're kind of like off to the side, the director, the DP, they're doing their thing. So I'm just standing there in my spot, probably, I don't know, maybe 4 feet away from this young actress right here. I thought was Molly Ringwald. I thought she was Molly Ringwald, right? I thought, oh, that's Molly Ringwald. So we're just standing there, and I'm, I was just, do, and they always tell you, like, they sort of pound this in your head from central casting, like, don't look at the main talent, don't talk to them, don't engage them, all this kind of stuff. So, but we're just sitting there, and after a while, I think it's human nature where you kind of feel like you kind of, it's not like you know the person, but like you're interacting and you're doing this thing. So there was sort of a barrier was broken down a little bit. So we kind of like just had some small talk, like, oh, this is taking forever, or man, or they're really kind of make a little joke. They're really getting that elevator shot, they're really taking, whatever. And so so I was standing there, she's standing kind of like about 3 or 4 feet away from me. The male actor in the scene, he's got his spot. So we're sort of like in this little triangle, right? And so then all of a sudden, she had this like kind of like 50s or 40s style dress, but she had a little, in those days, this is before cell phones were really big. But everyone had, a lot of people had either little disposable cameras, or they had little digital cameras. Because I had one in my pocket, and even though the rules were you're not supposed to bring cameras, you're not supposed to take pictures, but everybody brought them anyhow. And I had one in my pocket. She had one somewhere. I guess she had a pocket or something in her dress, and she whips out this little camera, and all of a sudden, she goes up to me. She goes, "Hey, would you take a picture of us, please?" And so she wanted to take a picture with the male actor, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So I took a picture of Molly Ringwald and the guy actor. I don't know his name. And so I took a couple shots for her, and I go, "Here you go." She goes, "Oh, thank you so much," And then I really, really wanted, because I had a camera in my pocket, I really wanted to ask her if I could take a selfie with her, or if I have him take, but it just seemed awkward and weird, and I knew it was against the rules because she's the main star, and I'm just the background guy. So they're not going to fire her for taking a picture. They're not going to fire Molly Ringwald for taking a picture. Right? But they might fire me. The only reason they might not fire me is if I've already been in some shots and they don't want to take a chance of it being all of a sudden, where's that guy? You know, but other than that, I mean, I didn't do it, and I just thought, man, I could have gotten a picture with Molly Ringwald, you know, and like for years and years, I was whenever I think about that, I would think, I was thinking like, man, Molly Ringwald was like right there, and she had me take a picture of her and the other guy. I could have gotten my own picture with her, you know, that would have been cool. It would have been so cool for my little collection, you know. So anyhow, the movie, I guess it got finished, and it aired, but I never did see it. It was on, I think it was on TNT or Turner Movie Classics, whatever it's called, and I just never got around to seeing it. And in those days, I mean, it played, and then it was off. It wasn't like on the streaming service. It's even hard to find it out, but I think I finally found it on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. And a few years ago, I watched it, and the thing is, I don't see myself in that movie anywhere, even though I did lots of scenes, but I can't, and I'm like right next to the main stars. I don't know why, I can't even find myself. So if you watch it, you're probably gonna think, oh, Chugger John's a liar, he's not even in it, but I was in it. So I'm watching the movie, but then I realized that redhead, that's not Molly Ringwald. That is, what's her face? What's the gal's name? I'm totally blanking on her name. She was, Christina Hendricks. The redhead, the very voluptuous, beautiful redhead from Mad Men, right? And now she's got that other show where they're like they rob shit. And I think this was maybe like the first thing she ever did, or maybe she did some commercials or something. I think this was like the first kind of. She was pretty much like the lead in this movie. But I thought that was Molly Ringwald all these years, because like 10 years went by before I finally saw the movie. And all these years, I've been telling people that story about Molly Ringwald asking me to take a picture of her. And it turns out it wasn't even Molly Ringwald. It was Christina Hendricks. And when I saw the movie, I was like, oh my God, that was just Christina Hendricks. So, because in that movie, Molly Ringwald, she plays, and then when you see it, you go, oh yeah, that's Molly Ringwald. But she has like this weird sort of, not even bleach blonde, I don't know, it's like white wig or something, where she plays, and she plays like she married the owner of the company or whatever. But the girl that was playing, Christina Hendricks, I mean, I just thought that was like Molly Ringwald, like, older, a little bit older from those Pretty in Pink days, right? So it was Christina Hendricks. So I could have had a picture with Christina Hendricks, which at the time I might not have thought was a big deal, but now it's just, Mad Men, right? And she's done a lot of other stuff too. So yeah, but on that movie, there was a few times where I was in another scene. It was like just in an office, and the guy, one of the other stars, that was Dylan Baker. You might not know that name, but Dylan Baker's been in a million things. And there was a scene where he was like sitting at a desk. I think he was doing a phone call, and I was in his office, like I guess my job was I was just like the dude that brought shit. I don't know. And I think I was just dropping something off on his desk or something. And then, so between takes, there's always these little like 5, 10, 15, sometimes more. If it goes too long, they'll just tell everybody, okay, go take a break or whatever. But a lot of times it can be 5, 10, 15 minutes between these takes. And so he was sitting in his chair, and I'm just standing in my spot. And so after a while, you're like, you kind of like humming or whatever. And then but then he was like, hey, so he started talking to me like, so hey, how you doing? And I was like, oh, hanging in there, He's, yeah. I go, man, these takes are like kind of crazy. They're really into this camera work. And he's like, yeah, this guy is really good, this DP or whatever. We had some sort of small talk. So I had small talk with that dude. And then during one of our breaks, we have craft services. Craft services is basically the people that bring food and refreshments for the cast and the crew. And sometimes some productions, they really keep the extras and everything separate from the talent and everybody. But in this thing, we were all kind of together because it was kind of a close-knit little thing. And so I was over at the craft services table, and I had grabbed a plate, and I was sitting there trying to decide what I wanted. I mean, they had like some cold cuts and some veggies, and then they had like donuts and pastries and stuff. And I was sitting there, and I was kind of deciding, and then all of a sudden, in the corner of my eye, I see somebody practically shoulder to shoulder with me. And I kind of glanced over, and it was Christopher Lloyd, And he's like, the professor from Back to the Future, for God's sake. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, that thing that central casting, they pound in your head, like, don't talk to the actors, don't talk to the talent, They don't like that, or whatever. So I'm just like, ooh, do. And it's just like this awkward moment, like, where literally our shoulders are touching, and he has his plate, and I had my plate, and we're both contemplating what to get. And so finally I just said something like, I'm like, man, is it veggies or is it donuts, And he kind of laughed. He just kind of laughed. He goes, yeah, he said something like, yeah, that's the age-old question, isn't it? It's always that battle. And then he started throwing a bunch of veggies on his plate. And then he reaches over and he grabbed a donut and threw that in there. He goes, oh, what the hell, you only live once or something. And so we had a laugh, and I'm like, yeah, I know, that's right, I think I grabbed a donut, and we laughed and had a good time, and he went his way, and I went over to where the extras are supposed to go. But that was cool. So I had a little interaction with Christopher Lloyd. I had a little interaction with Dylan Baker. I had a little interaction with Christina Hendricks, who I thought was Molly Ringwald. And that was my time on The Big Time. You could watch that movie. You'll probably never see me. I know. I've been in movies. I did either right before this or right after. I forget now. But I did a movie called, it was a Jim Carrey movie called, God, what was that movie called? It was one of those ones where it's kind of serious movie, and he God, it was set like, was it supposed to be like right after World War II? And where he got into a wreck and he got amnesia and he ended up in this town, and he walks in this town, and apparently he looks exactly like this guy who lived in that town. And so they just think it's him, like come back from the war, but I guess the real guy actually died in the war or something. I think. Spoiler alert. I can't even remember the name of it. It's called it's on the tip of my tongue. It's like after a movie theater, like the something, I might have to look that up too. But God, I can't remember the name of it. But anyhow, so we shot that movie all over the place in locations in LA and out in Valencia, various locations. I did a lot of work on that one, and I mean, I'm literally remember shooting a scene where Jim Carrey practically bumps into me and does his big line of dialogue. It's like this dance. They had like a party for him. It was like a dance thing going on, like an outside thing. They had like a band playing and then people were dancing. And he comes and practically brushes my shoulder and walks right in front of me to do his scene. And you don't even see me. I mean, because I'm thinking, inside I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna be, because if you're an extra, you want to be, I don't know, you want to be kind of seen, I guess. And so I watch the movie and you can't even see me. I don't even think you see my shoulder. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how they shoot those things. But they, you can't even see me. And I did a lot of work on that movie, and I did a lot of scenes where I'm right there with the main actors, and you don't even see me. But and you're doing those scenes over and over again, and you do make a lot of sort of like eye contact and a lot of like, hey, how's it going type of thing. The Majestic. Yes, Kenneth Otto. I know, I was just trying to find it. It was the Majestic, and I was in that, but you wouldn't know it, even though I'm brushing shoulders with Jim Carrey, for God's sakes. So anyway, I did a few movies here and there, just as a background guy, background actor. My hope at the time was to get a SAG card and get into SAG, and then because you make a lot more money as a union player, but it just never did work out. And then I ended up getting into trucking because I needed to get back to work, like to real steady work. And so that the rest is history. But I did have a time. Okay, so I did get into trucking in 2004, and I drove for about a year, and then I quit because my kids were really young, like 5 and 3, and I missed not being with them for like 10 months. I was gone or whatever, pretty much. So I quit, and then I was at home for about 3 or 4 years, where I was pretty much at home, and I would do. And since I had a CDL, I could do sort of like seasonal truck driving. I could do part-time truck driving, and then I also did some more background stuff. So I had another 3 or 4 year period where I did some more background during that period, from around 06, 07, 05, 6, 7. And I did now this one here, you can see me. If you go to Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they film most of that in California. And then they'll fly back to Philadelphia and do some scenes, pick up shots, or they do some scenes where they want to get that feel where it really looks like Philadelphia. But the bulk of their shows are just out here, or at least when I was doing it, is in Southern California, in LA. And so I was shooting out here, and actually it was like Van Nuys. They were doing this. It's I think it's season 3, episode 3, I think, of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's the one where it's they went out to pro football tryouts, because it was supposed to be like the NFL was on strike, and they were doing tryouts to have like scab players, play. And it was a parody or a take on what's that, Invincible, or whatever that one Mark Wahlberg movie. I might need Kenneth Otto to come in on this one again. Wahlberg played. I think that was the Wahlberg one. Well, anyhow, I thought he played like a scab football player or whatever. I thought it was a take on that, but whatever it is. So it's like, the gang from Always Sunny, they all go out to these tryouts. So I was one of the guys. And so at this time, I'm in my mid-40s, and I'm not, but I was a football player, a former football player. I played college ball. And I had a lot of my gears, because I had played semi-pro ball, probably like, in my early 30s, and I still had a bunch of my football gear. So that's really what got me the job, because you kind of put on with Central Casting, you put all your talents and all your things you've done, all the things you listed on there, and they see, football player, so they call you up and they're like, hey, do you have any of your gear? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay, so show up. It was Van Nuys, I think it was community college or whatever, and that's where they had a football field there, and that's where they were shooting the scenes for this episode. And so there was probably like, I don't know, 40 or 50 extras, maybe not that many, at least 30 extras. They were all there, all the ages. You had guys in their early 20s, 30s. I was in my mid 40s. I might have been one of the oldest guys there. But that was the thing. You know, they're all supposed to look, and I was kind of a little bit out of shape. Not quite as out of shape as I am now, but, you know, and not as gray as I am now and all that kind of stuff. But I still, you can see I was like an older, kind of out of shape guy. And that's what they wanted. They wanted these tryout guys to just look like, you know, crappy players, because, you know, that's what they were going to get with these. If the NFL decided to do a scab, it would be a lot of players that probably were, you know, not that great. So I was one of those guys, and I got to be in a lot of scenes that really close to the main actors. In fact, that's the one where we were doing this one scene where we're supposed to be running sprints, and it was like me, the blonde girl, and it was not Charlie, but the other one, Mac. I guess it was Mac, right? It was like us three, and there was another extra where they said the four of us, we would just run like the last 10 yards of the sprint, but it was supposed to be like we were doing like 40-yard sprints or something. And they would just show us doing this like last 10 yards, and it was supposed to be like we're just all gasping for air, and we're all out of shape, and we're dying, you know. And we had to do that a bunch of times. I remember when we first started, though, the blonde girl and Mac, I forget their names, but they actually came out to me and to the other guy and put their hands out, and they shook their hands. They go, "Hey, nice to meet you." I don't know. They sort of like introduced themselves, and we're like, "Oh yeah, I'm John, and nice to meet you." And they're like, "Yeah." I guess maybe they have a thing where when you work that close to them, that they want to at least extend a hand out to like a greeting or whatever. So it was really nice. So we shook hands and we said, you know, our names or whatever, and then and then we just did that scene, and then I did quite a few other scenes. You can watch that episode and actually see me in that, so that's kind of cool. And then I remember they took my information down, like my contact information. They took a Polaroid picture of me. They took my height and my weight and all this kind of stuff. And then, because there was talk about they were gonna do some shots in Philadelphia, and they might take some of the extras with them. So I thought, wow, I'm gonna get like a plane flight to Philadelphia, but then I never did. I guess. I'm not sure if they even shot it. You know, things always are back and forth. So I didn't do that. But I don't even know if they maybe just found another extra that had my same height and weight and whatever. But for whatever they shot in Philadelphia. But if you want to check out that, go. I think you can probably find old episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Season 3, and I believe it's episode 3. Okay, so that's a little bit of some of the stuff I did. Kind of interesting stories, I guess, of being the background guy, being a background extra. It was fun. I liked it. I really did like it. And I wish I could have gotten into SAG. You know, and who knows? I might be background extra John instead of Trucker John. But anyhow, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, right? But okay, so I think I'm gonna have to probably call it a day. So thank you everyone so much for being here today. I really do appreciate you spending some time with me. And yeah, check that out, Jolie. I'm pretty sure I'm in there. You can see me if you look closely. Because it always seems like when you're filming it, like I'm right there, they're practically in my face, and then you watch it and you're like way in the back and you're kind of behind something, or it's like, oh wait, there I am. So yeah, you got to be quick. You got to be quick, but I'm in there. So all right, hey, yeah, thanks for putting that on there. We got the buy me a coffee. I just did that, made that. Jolie showed me how to do that. We did that. Go check it out. It's kind of cool. Even if you know, just to check it out. You don't have to do anything, It has a cool link to a cool video that I made. Maybe you've seen it because it's on the channel. It's on the channel. But yeah, check out the channel. I've got some stuff on there. I got the Planet of the Apes stuff on there. I'm going to post later on the Jubitz truck stop is where I'm at right now. It's an interesting place, so I'll cut that, put it together. So always come by the channel and check out some of the videos. I've got lots of videos, trucking videos. I've got some stuff about, you know, the background work on there. I've got Amber, my AI girlfriend. Don't ask. But anyhow, there's all kinds of stuff on there to check out. And remember to like and subscribe. You guys are all subscribers, I know, but hit the share button. That's the thing. Hit that darn share button. And I will. Thanks, Shirley. The video on Buy Me Coffee is awesome. I like it. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And now it looks like I made it 100 years ago because it looks like a much younger than me. But actually, that video is only like 6 years ago. There's another video. I made a TikTok video. I think I'm gonna I should post it on my YouTube channel, where it shows what I looked like before Trump got elected in 2016 and what I look like 4 years later. It's like night and day. So I blame this on Trump. I'm blaming this on Trump, goddammit. Because before Trump, I was, you know, not as bad as I am now. But Trump will do that to you. He ages people. So anyhow, I should post that. But so anyhow, thanks for being here. I think that it's really cool you guys are here. I'll be here hopefully Thursday. From the road. I'm just trying to where I'll be. So today is here. I might be in Colorado by Thursday. Well, Thursday morning, maybe Wyoming. The good Lord willing. And the creek don't rise, and the roads aren't too icy. I'll probably be somewhere in. I'm thinking Wyoming, maybe Cheyenne. I don't know. So, see you guys then on Tuesday. We're gonna go ahead and get this going. My little thing here. From somewhere in the United States of America is Trucker John O.T.R. Who knows where I'll be live streaming from? It could be a rest area. It could be a truck stop. Or maybe even a Walmart parking lot. That's right, every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's the Trucker John OTR live stream. That's right. It's going down. It's going down. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. So much for being here. This really is a big part of my life. I appreciate you being here. You don't know what it means to me. It means so much. So thank you so much. I'll see you Thursday morning. I'll have to remember I will be in a different time zone. I always screw that up. I will be probably in the mountain time zone, but it'll still be 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'll try to square that in my head. All right, everybody, thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Ciao.